Hola mis queridos, ¿cómo estás, mi Alicia? Hello my kittens, how are you? My name is Allison, and today we are playing Nancy Drew, Tomb of the Lost Queen Special Edition. Dang it, that was the one thing that I forgot to do, was to research when they actually started doing the special editions. Actually, wait, no, I did kind of. Her Interactive has actually been doing special edition games for a pretty long time, actually. They've been doing like Easter eggs probably since the beginning of the Nancy Drew series. But as far as like actual special editions, like hidden achievements or actual achievements that you can check off on a list, like at the end of the game, or even along the game, like which you can do with game number 28 and thereafter, excluding Midnight in Salem. I don't know about that one. I still haven't played it. But I am aware that they did do a special edition with Trail of the Twister, Shadow at the Water's Edge, and Captive Curse, as well as Tomb of the Lost Queen, I believe, because I know it has its own theme. Because with their special, it actually used to be called Special Edition. That's what I was trying to remember. It used to be called Special Edition, but after Secrets Can Kill Remastered came out, they changed it to Bonus Edition because the remastered version had special in the title since it was the 25th anniversary of the company, I believe, if I remember correctly. Either that or it was 25 games. Anywho, I believe with the bonus editions, it started with Trail of the Twister and some of the games after that, and I knew that includes Tomb of the Lost Queen, which I am super excited about. The bonus editions actually have their own little themes, which is really nice. If the game has like an actual topic, a theme of it, like with Tomb of the Lost Queen, it's Egyptian hieroglyphs and all that stuff. And a little bit of a recurring character story as well. You actually get to see extra stuff, not just phone charms and minigames, and the minigames are usually from the previous games that Nancy Drew has had, the other cases that Nancy Drew have done in the game series so far. And in Tomb of the Lost Queen specifically, those extra features in our bonus edition are extra translations with the hieroglyphs that we find throughout the game, as well as a phone number that we can call and actually hear 6 different messages. And that phone number is S.P.I.E.D. I've already forgotten what S.P.I.E.D means. I should have written it down, but I didn't. But it is an alien organization that Sunny June created, and Sunny June is a recurring character from Secret of the Scarlet Hand. That is a Mayan game. Sunny June is basically obsessed with aliens and believe they are the reason we are here. Because they helped us survive and improve our human evolution. In fact, I think there's a brochure in the game that we can look at because of it. I actually did look at that and read through it. It's pretty funny. I think it's awesome. I love Sunny June. I honestly think I'm more like him and Jamila. Oh, whoops. I shouldn't have said that second name. Well, anyway, I'm sure some of you watching this are those who have played Tomb of the Lost Queen and are just stuck with certain parts. Hopefully, whatever you're stuck on is something that will happen in this specific video, and you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, please ignore that second name that I mentioned. Anywho, Her Interactive bases all of their Nancy Drew games off the Nancy Drew book series, and the book series has been going on since 1930. I love educating people. This is why I look things up before I play the games. So, Tomb of the Lost Queen is based on a super mystery, and which in fact a super mystery is Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys combined. Hardy Boys is another book series. Hardy Boys are twin brothers that are amateur detectives as well, and they actually know Nancy Drew fairly well, and the two actually pair up in the super mystery to solve a couple of cases that coincide in some way. And with the book that this game is based off of, which is Secrets of the Nile, bam! It is about, let's see, the Hardy Boys case. They are trailing a banker who's targeted by radicals. If I remember correctly, radicals are basically thieves. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I looked up the word. And Nancy's case is that she's protecting the daughter of a friend's ex-husband. Oi! It's quite the. They have quite the cases. And in my mind, with me being a writer, a future author, I can actually see a connection between the two. And I hope I am right about that connection. I actually need to get a copy of this book. It is so hard to find a free copy of it because the company that produces the Nancy Drew book series actually has to join with the company that makes the Hardy Boys series, and it's difficult with when two companies combined together to make one book. You gotta get their permission as well in order to make more copies of it, to make any revisions or any tweaks to the story or anything, any different cover arts, anything like that. Whereas the actual Nancy Drew book series, and I'm sure the Hardy Boys as well, it's reset every so often, new book cover arts, the better grammar, better punctuation, revised a little bit. Sometimes there's even new stories just to get creative, either that or to be a little bit more modern with our times, which is nice. And I am trying to pick up the pace just a little bit because I really want to get into the game. I'm going to go ahead and take off the book cover here. And let's see, is that everything? There is going to be one thing that I'm going to point out once we're in the game because I really think it's awesome and you should find out. Right, I need to make sure I check my door every day. I forgot about that. Okay. I forgot to mention the bonus edition also includes outtakes, which is really nice. Sometimes the outtakes is usually just concept art of the characters and whatnot. And with Tomb of the Lost Queen, though, I believe there is some audio outtakes, which I think is super good. I've never been a fan of like actual scripted outtakes. It's just awkward. But with every Nancy Drew game you play, you get an option of 2 detective levels. There's amateur and master. I'm not going to go into full details about it just because it's pretty lengthy. But just know that Her Interactive likes to upgrade their game engine every so often, which makes this series so unique. That's why their interface, their main menu changes every so often. That's why that's because of the updates, the upgrades. This is game number 26, Tomb of the Lost Queen. But game number 28, Ghost of Thornton Hall, that one and then the games thereafter, excluding Midnight in Salem, because that's used on Unity and not their own game engine. It has its own task list. The Master Sleuth has its own task list. There's like 3 other features. Let's see, a hint system that's connected to the task list, to this task list over here, not the Master Sleuth, but the amateur task list. There's I forgot what it was. I forgot what the 3rd feature was. But the 4th one, the 4th feature was in the the options. and that was the fast combo feature. I'm going to go more into detail about that once we're in the game. And let's go ahead and get into that, by the way, because I am super excited. Okay, so there are actually more than one. This is also a recurring character. This is from game number 4, Tower. My brain is just not working right now. Treasure in the Royal Tower. She actually helps us solve the case. And the game is about Marie Antoinette. No diss on Marie Antoinette in the comments, please. Right, let's go ahead and call S.P.I.E.D because I want to tick off which message we get to hear. And as I said, there's 6. We've already ticked off 2.
You've reached S.P.I.E.D. Your call may be monitored by government agencies intent on suppressing all evidence of alien activities, and also for training purposes.
Training purposes? Woof. Okay, so I think that one is a different one. I think I can mark that one. But yeah, that's definitely something new. Okay, so there is one thing I do want to get to before we get into the actual gaming portion, and that is there is a cheat menu that you can access. It's in all the games except for 2. I'm not entirely certain. I did look this up within the Facebook group that I'm in. They're not entirely sure if it's just the 2 games that it doesn't work in. They didn't actually do like an actual in-depth search. I mean, I could install the 2 games and find out myself, which I might do just to make sure, just to get a confirmation. But the cheat menu, you can access by using Control, Shift, Tab, and the letter C. There you go. And sometimes you don't need the letter C. Sometimes it's just those 3 things on the keyboard: the Control, Shift, Tab. And you can pretty much go through all of this. There's coding, then there's things that involve the actual game that you can put in, like the inventory, scenes from the game, things that you can put in the loading menu in case there's any screw ups with any part of the game. The streams I never did understand. I don't know about that. Game time. This one I actually really do like. It actually tells you how long you've actually been playing the game. It doesn't tell you like how long you've been playing on the specific time you've been playing on. It actually tells you the length of how long you've been playing the game, which is really nice. I like that. But there is one thing that you can do with the cheat menu, and that is the fast combo feature. I don't know how you can access it with the actual cheat menu, but what you got to do is use the keyboard, which is Control, Shift, Tab, the letter D, the letter F, and then the Enter button. And if that doesn't work, then it's without the D. Use the F, then the Enter button. Because for me, the D didn't work. Of course, I could be wrong on that. I'm not going to use the fast combo feature on here just because the story is actually really important for the playthrough. And one thing I forgot to mention, I am playing this game by myself. For those of you who are wondering why I am doing this without Gabriel Wolf, it really sucks that I've been trying to contact him. I need to contact him through other means besides the one that I actually have been contacting him with, because it's not working. Anyway, ooh, that went silent. All right, let's get going. Because we got a couple more questions with Professor Hotchkiss. We didn't finish our conversation with her from the previous video.
Have you heard of an expedition that went off in search of Nefertari years ago?
Oh, yes. The team in which everyone died. Is that the one?
Yes. Do you think that story is true?
Oh, heavens, yes. It's deadly out there in the desert. Think about it. You're going out there in search of dead bodies. There must be a reason they're in favor of the area.
But this expedition wasn't searching for QV-66, right?
Indeed not that had already been discovered. They were searching for Nefertari's mummy.
What do you think happened to them?
Oh, it's best you not concern yourself about that now, given your current location.
Okay, so that means they're all dead. Let's go into Nefertari first, because I know what will happen when we go into Abdullah.
What do you know about Nefertari?
Ah, a love story. Oh, break out the tissue papyrus, because when I'm done, there won't be a dry Horus in the house.
I actually get that
what?
reference.
Look it up, dear. Ramses II and Nefertari shared a love so vast the world could scarcely contain it.
Aw, that's
I'm
sweet.
talking about the kind of love you spell capital L, capital O, heart instead of a V, capital E. They stood side by side and ruled the world, but as they saw the years stretch out before them, they were keenly aware that a handful of decades would never cut it. They needed to be together always.
That's sweet.
And relevant. The ancient Egyptians believed that life was little more than a dress rehearsal for eternity.
Yep.
I found records that they concocted a plan to be together forever, side by side.
Why not be buried side by side?
They foresaw a volatile future for their kingdom, and they were correct. They knew they would have to enact safeguards. That's why in 1904, when QV66, the so-called tomb of Nefertari, was found, her body was not there.
What are the chances we found Nefertari's tomb?
If I were a gambling Hotchkiss, I'd say 60-40.
60-40. Hang on a second. Something popped up on my screen. Okay. And by the way, there is going to be a loud noise fairly soon, just because I took so long in getting ready for the recording. So when that happens, I will be muting my mic real quick so that I can stop the noise. Okay, this question.
I still don't get all this business with QV66. Why build a fake tomb?
For the same reason I never carry my passport in my purse when I travel. Some things are too valuable to leave in a tempting place.
Yeah.
You mentioned an expedition that found QV66, Nefertari's tomb.
It was one of the most significant finds in archaeology. They call it the Sistine Chapel of Egypt.
Cute.
It's where my fascination with the royalty of Egypt was born. The color alone took my breath away. We think of ancient Egypt as being a subdued sand color, but it was a riotous display with all the visual delights of a midsummer gelato shop cooler case.
And
What?
you don't think Nefertari was entombed there?
They only found kneecaps, which supposedly means that her tomb was robbed.
You disagree?
I do. What good is the mummy without the context? It's the placement in the tomb that makes the mummy valuable.
I concur, milady.
Why is Nefertari so important?
There are two queens I find most fascinating in ancient Egypt, and for exactly the same reason. They were hidden.
I love that reason.
Hatshepsut is the first.
I think I've heard of her. She was the pharaoh that was almost removed from the historical record, right?
Exactly. 20-some years of peace and stability, and after she dies, Thutmose III's ancient cronies try to erase her from the record.
Why?
Jealousy, revenge, fear that his reign would never equal hers. You name it, but you can't keep a good woman down. Despite the efforts of Thutmose III's supporters, her legacy endured.
And Nefertari?
In my opinion, she's the opposite. She was obsessively preserved in the historical record, but it was her tomb that was hidden.
You can't keep a good woman down. Why do I have a sneaky suspicion that this is the same woman who voices Savannah Woodham in Shadow at the Water's Edge? You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Alright.
How sure are you that Nefertari's tomb was hidden?
There was something strange about QV66. I think that might be why it is off limits to this day.
It is?
To you and me, at the very least. There is a rumor that the tomb has a clue to the true location of Nefertari's mummy.
Really?
Who knows? I'll tell you this. I didn't have time to read all of the hieroglyphs, but I noticed that the syntax was a little, shall we say, wonky?
When
I don't know
isn't it?
how hieroglyph syntax could be non-wonky.
True, But it was almost as if Nefertari and Ramses II had their own language.
I think Professor Boyle noticed that. Because we did find a couple of letters that were already translated for us.
Have you heard of Abdullah?
Yes, I have. He is December on my Men of Archaeology calendar.
You're kidding me. Does that exist?
It existed the second I made it. Is he there with you?
Oh boy.
Yes. He seems full of himself.
He is. Oh, I am not an advocate of pulpy romance novels, but if I were, I'd call that an archable trait. In Chapter 1, he'd swagger into the excavation site, the picture of a rascal with his dusty leather jacket and decidedly European haircut. His cocky ne'er-do-well smirk displaying his perfectly white teeth, but by the end he'd be sweetly holding flowers and saying, "Professor Hotchkiss, I'm dying to discuss your latest publication." A colleague of mine has guilted me into editing her latest romance novel, and I must confess I cannot wait until the project is completed. Reading page after page is absolutely wreaking havoc on my metaphors.
I love this.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
I no longer know.
Abdullah, that's what. He's a cold-blooded hotshot with only one setting. Success. Oh, sorry, I've also been helping my nephew break into the movie trailer business. Oh, Hotchkiss, why must you always burn the candle at both ends? He's a good archaeologist who knows Egypt inside and out. He could teach you a thing or two, just don't pick up the attitude.
I will hold you to that. I will obey. I don't want to pick up the attitude either. Oh my gosh. Okay, so eventually we'll be calling her back with more questions. In fact, I'm surprised we don't have any questions about the Sons of Horus. I guess we will later on.
I'd better get going.
Bye, dear.
Let's call John, because I imagine he might have some answers for that as for us. If we can talk about the Sons of Horus at
Nancy,
all.
hello.
Abdullah seems confused by the hieroglyphs in the tomb.
Really?
You sound surprised.
Astonished, dumbfounded, with a twist of smug thrown in to soothe my ego.
So, if he's confused...
Then it is confusing. He's one of the brightest minds in the field. If he's stumped, something unique is going on here.
Okay, so something actually got me piqued in, interested in Professor Hotchkiss's answer about something. She was saying how QV66 is off limits to the public, and actually has clues as to where Nefertari's tomb really is. Well, considering this game, I highly doubt that we are at QV66. Alright, and something is about to happen to make the noise that is going to be heard, so I'm going to go ahead and pick a question and mute my mic.
Lily seemed upset about me doing any work here.
Show me a PhD student who isn't upset about something, and I'll build you your very own pyramid.
Why would she want to keep me away from your work?
I have no clue. If she wants to play at being in charge, let her. It'll save you a lot of headaches.
What do you know about Lily?
Not much. She's with Abdullah's team. It's just strange that she's out there.
Yeah.
Why?
I never say a critical word about a student, but the archaeology community is small, people talk. I guess all I'm going to say is it's surprising Abdullah put her on his team.
You can't just leave it at that. The curiosity center of my brain is going to go into full meltdown.
I
can't,
get that.
Nancy. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to talk about it.
Alright, we'll save this question for later. It is actually getting
better get
pretty
going.
close to the end of
Catch
the
you later.
video. It is driving me nuts though that I didn't ask him the question, because I like having everything asked and said and done in a phone conversation, any conversation in any game. Okay, did we look through all of this? I think we did. Yeah. But can we look over here? That's our stuff.
Stay out of there!
Okay, that's Abdullah's stuff. Gotcha, okay. Oh, one thing I forgot to do was check the task list. I like to check this at the beginning of each video just to make sure if I have
Can't
anything
check that. Did
done.
that. Haven't done that. Haven't done that. Haven't done that.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Would I find it in here? No. I guess I actually do need to. I guess I actually do need to solve this. Which sucks, because I thought we'd learn more. You know what? I mean, I know I should be ending the video now, but I'm gonna look at the Hieroglyph book that is in Nancy's trunk, because I know there's one more book that she has that she didn't take with her. Okay, so this is the alphabet. I guess. No, I don't see it. Yeah, it just seems like the only thing we can do is solve that. Because we can't really use the shovel right now, right? Alright, well. I guess we will have to figure this out in the next video. So I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, geez, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and save here as Rabbit 5, and go ahead and head out. Doom. Save again so we don't make a mistake, and go ahead and bid you all here. Yikes! I didn't realize the time. I didn't realize how much time I had wasted there at the end. So. I hope I helped you out at least a little bit in this video. If not, I'm not doing my job. And I hope you enjoyed this video as well. If so, smash that like button like a kitten would. Yes, I'm saying goodbye because I can't talk much. Anywho, like a kitten would. And if you're just now tuning into this channel and you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that ugly red subscribe button, make it that beautiful gray, as well as that bell icon right next to it. That'll notify you of all the videos that I do. That'll be on those are on Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Central, and Sundays 4:30 p.m. Central. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. I am Sweet Rascally Rabbit. Sweet Rascally Rabbit. Jeez, saying goodbye. Stay awesome, man. Stay on YouTube. Yeah.